Now at 5, it's our Hero Fund USA Telethon. We'll explain how you can donate to help area first responders. Plus, a call for better communication between the Carthage City Council and the Water and Electric Plant Board. And the EPA is checking yards in Baxter Springs, Kansas for lead contamination.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Get out your phones. Our Hero Fund Telethon is underway. It's First Responders Giving Day, so we're giving you a chance to give back to those who dedicate their lives to our community. Your donation will help to pay for equipment they need, such as bulletproof vests, firefighting equipment, water rescue equipment. Our phone lines are open with volunteers from Arvest Bank and the Neosho Police Department taking your calls. You can call or text right now. You'll find the numbers on your screen. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. We're going to check back in on the telethon in a bit, but first some of today's top stories. MoDOT says the I-44 bridge near Fidelity, Missouri is now repaired and all lanes and ramps are open. The bridge was damaged last month, you might recall, when an oversized crane went under it and on Highway 59 and struck the bridge's girders. The girders and concrete surrounding them were damaged, but MoDOT engineers at the time determined the bridge to be structurally sound. Still, it needed repairs, which are now complete. The EPA is checking yards in Baxter Springs, Kansas for lead contamination. Parts of Cherokee County are on the national priorities list due to previous lead contamination. Years ago, the area was home to one of the largest lead and mining districts. After a cleanup effort a few years ago, the EPA is back for lead testing.
Lead, zinc, and cadmium, they're 3 metals, and those are the primary contaminants of concern associated with the historic mining in this area. And so they're all naturally occurring, and they're the ones that pose the most risk to human health and the environment. With regard to the Cherokee County Superfund site.
The agency also encourages everyone, especially children, to be tested for lead contamination by visiting their local health center. The Carthage City Council says they want to improve communication between the Water and Electric Plant Board and the council. That's in the wake of the back and forth between the board and the council that led to some confusion about whether utility workers would get pay raises. You might recall at one point the council decided to dismiss board members, then reversed that decision under public pressure. The mayor hopes better communication can help the city avoid similar conflicts in the future.
The board had given the general manager the authority to develop the salaries and approve, and they approved them through him, which was not communicated. We were not. That's where the miscommunication was.
We're going to hear more from the mayor of Carthage tonight at 6. Some of us, quite a few of us, got some rain overnight. Let's check in with Chloe Arroyo.
Yes, and unfortunately, or fortunately in terms of rainfall, we may see some more thunder boomers heading into tonight. Another nocturnal storm in our atmosphere or environment looking pretty sustainable for that with our warmer temperatures and higher dew points. We're currently sitting into the 90s, lower to mid 90s, Fort Scott 95, as well as Joplin, Miami 92, Neosho, you're at 93 degrees right now. So we're still pretty toasty for today, but heading into later on tonight, here's a look at our chance for some severe weather. Now, it's nothing compared to what we saw last night. It'll be a little bit less compared to that. Timing anywhere from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. The biggest threat anywhere from wind to heavy rainfall, especially into the morning hours. Coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk more details in terms of the timeline as well as the drought update and when the temperatures are going to reach triple digits again. That's all coming up here in a bit. Catch you in a few. Last night's storms did leave some scattered damage in Carthage. A number of trees and limbs are down. This is video from a neighborhood near 162 Road and Oak Street in Carthage. Across the state line, Crawford County, Kansas reported a number of water rescues as well. If you haven't already, now is the time to call into our Hero Fund USA Telethon. Let's check in with Shannon Becker with the volunteers who are taking your calls. Shannon.
Thanks, Dow. We're here in Pete's Phone Central and the Hero Fund fundraiser. It's the inaugural one we're having here at KOAM, and it's raising money for local first responders for equipment that they asked for grants. Hero Fund USA was started in 2016 in Overland Park, Kansas. They're a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and they help other nonprofits, of course, like fire departments and police departments, bulletproof vests, firefighting tools, water rescue equipment, also technology like drones, thermal imagers, radios. They provided funding to more than 65 departments across Missouri and Kansas, and there are numbers at the bottom of your screen, and you can call right now and be a part of the money that stays here local. We'll talk about Neosho Police Department and how they benefited with their patrol cars coming up in the next 10 minutes. In Joplin, I'm Shannon Becker, KOAM News Now.
Shannon, thank you so much. President Biden is in Finland celebrating that country's admittance into NATO. Finland has the largest border with Russia of any NATO member, making it a key new piece of the alliance. But the move might not have happened had Russia not invaded Ukraine. This week, President Biden and allies made clear that Ukraine also has a pathway to NATO membership after that war with Russia is over. Still ahead, a more convenient option for birth control.
For the first time in the U.S., a birth control pill is approved for sale over the counter. I'm Bradley Blackburn with why the FDA says it's safe to use without the supervision of a doctor.
And later, Hollywood actors join writers on their picket line in another blow to the entertainment industry. In the meantime, our phone bank is taking calls for your donations to Hero Fund USA. Call right now.
Welcome back to Pete's Phone Central. This is Hero Fund USA, and we're raising money for local first responders. We're here also with Lieutenant Mike Whitehead. Now, Mike, Neosho Police Department, tell us, you requested a grant from Hero Fund USA a couple of years ago. Tell us, what did you guys request?
We needed partitions for a new model vehicle we were starting out with, the Dodge Durango.
So what does that mean, partitions? Explain that to us.
It's the cage that separates the police officer from the prisoner and the prisoner from the cargo area.
So when you buy a new vehicle like that, tens of thousands of dollars to outfit it, to be ready to use, right?
That's correct.
So did that help your all's budget by not having to pay for the cage?
Absolutely. It's a big help. Yeah.
Good. And you're still using it today?
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part, all right?
You're welcome.
All right. That's Lieutenant Mike Whitehead from the Neosho Police Department. This morning we talked to Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. They have a drone that they're getting ready to purchase with Hero Fund USA money. And then also, the list goes on and on. You can be a part and support local police agencies right here in our area with Hero Fund USA. Remember, the number to donate is at the bottom of your screen. It's 888-620-4869. Back to you, Dow.
Absolutely. Thank you again for your donation. You have a good rest of your day.
Shannon, thanks. Topping today's Health Watch, federal health officials have approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill. Today's FDA decision means once-a-day O-pill can be sold without a prescription. As Bradley Blackburn reports, the approval comes as some states have passed laws that restrict women's reproductive rights.
Thursday's approval by the FDA applies to the drug O-pill, a progesterone-only birth control pill. In May, an FDA panel of health experts unanimously recommended it should be sold without a prescription after the drug maker Perrigo presented years of research showing women could understand and follow instructions for using the pill. It needs to be taken every day at the same time within a 3-hour window.
This pill was approved for prescription use in 1973.
Kelly Blanchard helps lead Free the Pill, a coalition of more than 200 groups that have advocated for over-the-counter birth control for 2 decades.
This is really important for all of our communities to be able to access contraception, again, without the hurdles of a prescription, for example, needing to have a doctor to get a visit, take time off work, get childcare.
O-pill is expected to be available early next year. The drug maker has not yet shared its over-the-counter price. The FDA's approval follows the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade. 26 states have since banned or limited abortion access, putting the FDA under increased pressure to ease access to birth control. The CDC estimates about 45% of U.S. pregnancies are unintended. The Catholic Medical Association raised objections to O-pill and says it's concerned for the health and safety of women across the United States. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Now, generally, over-the-counter medications are less expensive than prescription drugs. It's unclear if insurance companies will cover Opill. And that is a look at today's health news. A little later, why Hollywood actors are joining the Writers Guild and taking to the picket lines.
Well, we've got another chance for overnight thunderstorms. I'll have the timeline and more coming up next.
And volunteers are standing by to take your phone calls for our Hero Fund USA Telethon.
Well, it sure has been a toasty one as usual for this month, and it's also been muggy. We actually reached a couple of records in Oklahoma in terms of dew points. Here's a look at our indigo sky and casino and resort just west of Seneca, Missouri. We've got a couple clouds entering into the picture. This is going to continue to persist heading into this evening. Temperatures right now pretty hefty in the 90s right now. Joplin 95, Stockton you're at 96, Neosho and Anderson at 93, Chanute you're at 95 right now, so we're still staying pretty toasty. The dew points are still pretty up there as well, so it's feeling really muggy outside. We're still in a drought, especially off to our west. This is where the area of concern is the most prominent, but we have calmed down just a hair. Just for example, Wichita was in the exceptional range and is downgraded to the extreme range, which is still pretty significant, but still something that we are thankfully seeing some relief from the rain that we've seen in the past week or two. We'll continue to see that tonight as well. Our low tonight, 73 degrees. We'll see lots of precipitation enter into the picture late tonight into early Friday morning. In fact, we have a chance for some severe weather. Nothing compared to what we saw yesterday. In fact, the tornado risk is pretty much at a zero at this point. We really shouldn't be seeing any type of rotation. But the biggest threats have wind and heavy rain. The timeline on this, anywhere from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. This will be most prominently a little further south into northeastern Oklahoma as well as northwestern Arkansas. So that's where we're going to see the biggest threat. Here's the timeline on this. See a couple scattered showers. We're actually seeing some right now, and we'll continue to see that into the evening hours before we see a line begin to develop. This is around 3 or 3:30, so late tonight. A lot of people will already be asleep at this point. That's going to continue to develop, and on the back end of that, we'll see a line form with that and push through the region. This is going to be very widespread as you head into the morning hours. So if you're on your morning commute to work, that's when it's going to be really prominent, and we'll continue to see those heavy bands of rainfall. So give yourself ample time if you're driving to work early in the morning, but as we head into after about 9 a.m., we'll see that begin to clear out. And by lunchtime, we'll just be left with some clouds and temperatures in the 80s, so a little bit cooler than what we have been seeing, especially with the 90-degree temperatures that we've got going on right now. We'll warm back up pretty swiftly into the lower 90s heading into tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at the expected precipitation that we'll see. Across the board, we'll see a little bit more, anywhere from 2.5 to 4 inches in the red, so pretty significant heading a little further south, but much needed rainfall that we're seeing above all from this storm system. And we've already seen quite a bit in the month of July, and we're only halfway there. It's only the 13th, so thankfully we'll be on track to be a little bit on the above average side in terms of rainfall heading into the rest of the month. Here's a look at your 10-day forecast. We've got precipitation today, and then that'll be left over into tomorrow as well as Saturday. We'll see a chance for some showers here and there, especially in the early morning hours, and then another chance on Monday night. But look at those temperatures really warming up into the upper 90s, into the triple digits by the time we get to Wednesday. So on that warming trend again, unfortunately.
And boy, it is muggy out there. You can feel that oppressive
mighty muggy. Some folks had dew points in the 80s. Just crazy. You know, yesterday, my dad's glasses, he stepped outside and they immediately fogged up.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chloe.
Of course.
Coming up, we're going to check back in with our Hero Fund USA Telethon. Be sure to call or text the number on the bottom of your screen. Give what you can.
Welcome back, KOAM News Now. We're in the Pete's Phone Central for Hero Fund USA. Local money stays here to help first responders. Maria from Arvest Bank is here with me. Going to read some people got to thank. Jeremy from Joplin, thanks for that $10 donation. Yvonne from Joplin, $30. Who do you have there, Maria?
I have Arlene from Cherryville with a $25 donation. And then Zeke from Joplin with another $25 donation. And then I have Ann from Joplin with a $100 donation.
Yeah, thank you so much. Keep those phones ringing. More, William from Webb City, $25 one time. And then also Shirley from Loma Linda, a $50 donation. You can make a donation right now. Make a difference with first responders right here at Hero Fund USA. They're a nonprofit organization, and I like to say they're a for-profit organization. They profit first responders, right? With great equipment to help you, the public. So call 888-620-4869.
Shannon, thanks. Topping today's Consumer Watch, and another blow to the entertainment industry. The union representing actors will be on the picket line tomorrow after failing to reach a deal with the major Hollywood movie studios. This new strike is in addition to the Writers Guild strike that began in May. Chris Holmstrom reports from Los Angeles.
Hollywood is grinding to a halt after SAG-AFTRA, the union representing thousands of actors, voted to strike.
We had no choice.
Fran Drescher, star of The Nanny, is the union's president.
I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs.
Many members of the union had already been on the picket line supporting the Writers Guild, which has been on strike since May.
They've been incredibly helpful and they bolstered our numbers.
Like the WGA, the Actors Union wants increases in basic pay, higher residuals for streaming content, and protection surrounding the use of artificial intelligence. The labor action comes as Hollywood struggles to adjust to major changes in the entertainment industry.
Theatrical box office is still down 25% or more versus pre-COVID. Linear television, broadcast and cable is dying a slow death. Audiences are shrinking and aging out of the advertiser-friendly demographic. And finally, in streaming, it requires enormous capital to compete with Netflix and build a worldwide competitive scripted television channel.
In a statement, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers wrote, "We are deeply disappointed that SAG-AFTRA has decided to walk away from negotiations. This is the union's choice, not ours," adding the move will deepen the financial hardship for thousands who depend on the industry. Chris Holmstrom, CBS News, Los Angeles.
In anticipation of the looming strike, the London premiere of the new Christopher Nolan film Oppenheimer was moved up an hour so the cast could walk the red carpet before the union board's announcement. Twitter wants a federal court to end the company's consent agreement with the Federal Trade Commission. In 2022, Twitter and the FTC settled a privacy dispute after regulators accused Twitter of misusing account security information. Then last summer, the FTC opened an investigation into Twitter over allegations that it violated the terms of that agreement. Twitter is asking the court to stop the investigation and terminate the agreement. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, to rent or to buy? We're going to look at what's better for your wallet when looking for a home. And then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the relationship between the Carthage City Council and the Water and Electric Plant Board. Plus, authorities arrest a man wanted for the theft of tens of thousands of dollars worth of copper wire from an area internet provider. And we're going to check the annual Nitro Chaos Drag Race at Mocan Dragway. Stay with the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. All right, let's take another look at the phone bank for our Hero Fund USA telethon. Time is running out to donate. The telethon's going to end at 6:30 this evening, so if you haven't donated already, we urge you to get out your phone and your credit card. Please dial the number at the bottom of your screen. The money again goes toward helping to fund area first responders with the equipment they need to help us.
Such an incredible cause.
It is indeed. More rain chances ahead, Chloe.
Sure are, especially heading into tonight. Be sure to stay updated with that. We'll also have a chance Friday and even Saturday before those temperatures skyrocket midweek next week.
All right. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.